Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have Philip K. Booker from several publishers, specifically from Three Ravens Press. Philip, thanks so much for being here.
It's a blast. Thank you for having me.
So let's start about how did you get involved with Three Ravens Publishing?
Well, I met Hillbilly Scott over at a book expo, and we were all gathering together, people who were in writing groups and whatnot, and we just published a number of stories, but we wanted to be able to build up from the ground a writing group that wasn't a critique group. So we founded a group that was called the Corner Scribblers, and Scott rolled that into his publishing house, Three Ravens Publishing, and from there we just started putting works out, small flash fiction pieces and short stories, and we built up gradually for larger works, and went from there.
So you have gotten to contribute to several of the It Came from the Trailer Park series, which is, it has been short story anthologies.
It has.
I think there were 5 or 6, and then they just announced the double wide stories, which are novellas.
Yes.
So you have edited 2 of those anthologies. How did you get involved with editing them, and what were some of your favorite stories from them?
Well, the wild hair of It Came from the Trailer Park hit Hillbilly, and he thought it was funny, and that it was just going to be a one-off funny anthology that he could put out stories for, and it ended up being a big hit, and he invited a bunch of people for the first anthology, and decided they were going to make that an annual deal. And from there, I was in the first one by invite. I made it and was the first story in the second anthology, and edited 3 and 3.5 because we had a number of stories. We decided to make a special edition on April Fools for the 3.5, and I had stories in both of those, plus I edited along with that. And I took a little bit of a hiatus because that was a lot of work.
And you've also written some stories for the series in addition to the editing.
Yes.
What were some of the stories that you wrote?
Well, my first story, because it was creature feature, comedy horror, things that throw back to the 80s, the 90s, 70s even. And I struggled for that a little bit because I was like, well, what do I want to tell? And I was like, what was the creepier story that I enjoyed still as a repeat watch? And it was, I wanted to think something along the line of Tremors. And I played around with that, and happened to notice that there was a bunker over by where I lived that was built out of a school bus, and I just applied. I was like, how could we make that funny? And so I had giant spiders along with a crazy lady who lived in a bus bunker in an adventure in the northwest Alabama. And then year 2, when I decided, I was like, I kind of want to go lean into more funny in the inane. I had a Bigfoot that plays in a jug wash band, and his pet gets loose, and it causes mayhem in the trailer park. And that's probably one of my favorites. Buford Green's jug band.
And how does the collaboration process on the Trailer Park series work? Do you guys get told kind of what the short story collection is about, and then you guys write it, or do you collab with the other authors to make sure you're not stepping on toes? How does the writing process work for this?
For the making sure that you don't step on anybody's toes, it's more along the lines for the editors to pick, because you don't want to have a book full of Sasquatch stories or alien stories, and so you do get a little bit of a whittling down in that process. Otherwise, you might just, because we all know each other. For a good number of us, particularly along the lines for the invites specifically, but it's much more along the lines of you pick what works for you in your story, and if we happen to have multiple stories that were vampires or something like that, you just kind of space them out a little bit.
And with that series, it is moving from the short story space to the novella space. With that, are you involved at all with that side of things?
Well, we started doing the novella length stories because we had a couple of submissions. We try to keep them within like the 5,000 to 10,000 word short story realm. And we had a couple of really good short stories that were just a little heavy on the length.
Yeah.
You start pushing that 15,000 word and up, but not quite novel length, and so they made a collection of those, and that were like double wide because trailer parks.
Oh yeah, it fits perfectly.
It fits perfectly.
When I was interviewing Hillbilly, and he told me that, I was like it clicked, and I was like, that makes so much sense. So I'm excited to see where those go. You've also, that's not the only short story collection from Three Ravens that you've contributed to. You've also contributed to the A Touch of Aether anthology. Did you write one short story for it?
I did write a short story for it, but because I was the editor, I kind of like buried it a little bit towards the end of the book. But I'm a huge urban fantasy fan.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of having the mystical infused within the world that's just kind of like the secret lair. And so I was like, I'm going to pitch an anthology because I wanted to have some urban fantasy. And so I cast the net out and I put it out to Hillbilly. And he was like, yeah, let's go for it.
What is the short story about?
Mine is called A Pawn's Promotion, and it's a sequel short story to a novel that I'm currently writing. That's Finn Rhodes is my crime scene cleaner here in the Chattanooga area, who has discovered that his heritage is half Fae, and it's his realization of what that means to him in his life and what it means to his past, the things that he's uncovering, that he's finding out that there are a number of secrets and things that have been kept from him, and he's processing that for his first story, and he's trying to save the day in a limited realm.
And when it comes to writing short stories and editing them for collections, do you find that you have to do a lot of revisions on them, or do you find it's much more just on the typography? As an editor, how much of it is, what's the type of work that you're doing with it?
Well, for editing, it's mostly filtering out the chaff from the wheat, and picking out the number of stories, limiting it down to a smaller realm. We like to keep it 10 to 11 stories, and then have an anchor and a short story, an opening essay sometimes. And then it's just, I did my first editing gig with Three Ravens was on their JTF Legends. And that was a lot more on the lines of, this doesn't make sense, or you just killed everybody with this action, because it's a lot more combat units moving around and killing big bad monsters. It's less that in the trailer park, even though it is monsters in trailer parks. Right. Because if the trailer park people die, it's not as big. Well, I mean, it's a big deal because they're the characters. You want the characters to win. But it was a lot less work in that sense of fixing the stories. It was picking out the stories because we had a wealth of submissions, and if a story just wasn't cutting it, then it goes on the chopping block, and then it's just fixing the prose or the punctuation mostly.
So you kind of talked about, you have that novel that you're working on. Do you have anything else that you are planning to have come out anytime soon?
My game plan is to have my Finn novel done by the end of this year. Okay. And then I have 2 other solid projects for novel length. I have a vampire hunter in said Macon, Georgia, who works as part of a team. And that's in Hillbilly's Nightwish universe that he's building up. And then I have a superhero tale set in Christopher Wood's Bent universe that I'm working on. The only other projects that I have currently on the table is I've got 2 short stories that I'm working on in short order. We've got Wild Magic that's going to be coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantasy story, and it's anchored by Faith Hunter. And then I have a short story that I'm submitting for Trailer Park 5, though I'm not an editor, so it's not a guaranteed end. But I'm playing around with that.
Okay. Well, and if people wanted to follow you online, see what your next thing is going to be, where should they follow you?
I have a presence on Twitter, Pip Booker, because it was before I got into the writing thing, so my username hasn't been changed for that too well. I'm on Facebook as well, and then all my stuff is available on 3 Ravens and Amazon.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on the channel today.
Thank you.
And until next time, I'm Jonathan.